Hi, kids. It's Pastor Patricia, and I'm going to talk today about the children's sermon for this Sunday, January 17th, 2021. So I want to talk to you about listening and hearing. Is your hearing good? Yeah? Cool. One of the ways I listen to things is with my earbuds. Do any of you have earbuds? My son has headphones, which are really cool, that he really likes, that give better sound. Do you have headphones? A lot of people have earbuds. They don't have these strings on them anymore. They're wireless. I don't know how to use those yet. Sorry, but this is one way that I can listen better to things. I listen to videos on my phone, or I listen to books that I record, and I put them. I listen to them on this device, and listen to them even when I'm working in the yard sometimes, which is a lot of fun to have someone telling you a story while you're doing work. Anyway, listening is a pretty important thing. And the reading for today, one of the readings, is all about the call of Samuel. When someone calls you, you usually respond, right? Have your mom or dad ever kind of opened up the door and yelled outside, Mike, come in, or Susie, time to come in? Okay, that's how your mom or dad can call you to come in. Have you ever been called by God? Interesting, huh? Well, the story today from the Old Testament is about a boy named Samuel. And he lived in the temple. That was pretty much what they called a church back then, but even holier than a church. And he lived there with the other priests. They all lived there and took care of the temple. And the head priest, his name was Eli. And Samuel was just a kid. We don't know exactly how old, but little, like under 10, I would say. And his job was to sleep in the temple, kind of in the church, right there by the altar every night. And so one night, while he was sleeping there, he heard a voice, Samuel, Samuel. And so he ran into Eli, who was the head priest. He ran into his room and he said, yeah, I'm here. What do you need? And Eli woke up all sleepy and said, I didn't call you. Go back to bed. And so the kid went back to bed. And then it happened again. Samuel is asleep and he hears Samuel, Samuel. And so he runs into Eli and he said, I'm here. What do you need? I have to tell you, this happens 3 times. And Eli finally figures it out. He was sleepy, so you can understand. He didn't understand it at the beginning. But Eli realizes it's God calling Samuel. Pretty neat. I mean, he was the head priest. He must have known something. So he says, go back to sleep. And the next time you hear the voice, sit up in bed and say, speak, Lord, for your servant is listening. Oh, that's cool. And it happens just like that. And Samuel and God are just like that. They are so close. Through his life, through his childhood, there in the temple, and as he grows up, he works with kings of Israel. He is really important because he listens to what God tells him. I have to tell you, I've never heard God in the middle of the night or even in the middle of the day saying, Patricia, Patricia, and I'll go, yes, God, speak, for your servant is listening. That's never actually happened to me. But I have had some moments where I realize, oh, wow, I think I'm supposed to do that. Because God has been kind of talking to me in the voices sometimes of other people that I know. And sometimes it's just a certainty, just a peace that comes over me. Oh, I bet I'm supposed to do that. And then I go in that direction that I hear God kind of nudging me towards. And if it pays off, if it turns out to be the right choice, right away, don't you? Anyway, I'm telling you these personal things about God's call because I think sometimes God calls you. Whether you're a kid or an adult or an old person like me, I think sometimes God calls you and says, I don't think this way you're going is the best. I think this way would be better for you. It's not really about a voice. It's about a certainty that comes over you. Oh, I think I need to change what I'm doing. Anyway, this was kind of a heavy conversation today in the children's sermon, but I want you to know that God has been speaking to young people forever. God doesn't just talk to adults, doesn't just talk to your parents, your pastors, people like that. God works in the world through you, kids, as well as older people. So just think about that. The next time you're getting ready to go to bed and you say your prayers, why don't you say, Dear God, thank you for today. Show me what you want me to do next. If you set it up so that God knows you're willing to listen, I think God will speak. Anyway, we'll talk about this again, all right? You have a good week. And remember that I love you and everybody at Holy Cross loves you. And God really, really loves you. Bye-bye.